Hi, it's Anna Mason. In this video, I'm going to show you the process I went through to achieve the iridescent purple-blue colours to this gorgeous bluebell flower. They're a real highlight of spring here in the UK, and I'm lucky enough to live near some great bluebell woods that Dexter, my dog, loves too. Not only are they impressive en masse, but when you look at them in close-up, you see lots of detail and get a closer sense of that unusual purple-blue colour. Achieving iridescence with watercolour is all about allowing the white of the paper to be visible through the paint in just the right places. So I began by applying a really pale watery wash of Cobalt Violet and French Ultramarine to all of the more purple areas, and then some neat but very watery French Ultramarine to the more blue parts of the flowers. When that had dried, I used a thicker mix of French Ultramarine with a darker purple paint, Quinacridone Purple by Daniel Smith, to apply to the darkest areas. Crucially, I used the side of the brush to create a feathered edge with short stippling brush strokes along the edge where the darker colour needed to transition into a lighter one. Next, I worked on the darker midtones with a slightly more watery mix, but using the same brush technique to ensure I was leaving little gaps through to the lighter wash underneath to start to give the impression of the slightly crinkly and sparkly surface of the flowers. I did the same when working on the bracts too, always varying the proportions of the purple and blue in my mix to try to match the colours I could see in the bluebell. With the darker tones painted, I could now see that the lighter tones were too light in comparison and the contrast levels were too strong. So I watered down my mix further and applied the paint into the lighter areas, but still with a stippling technique to allow tiny little areas to pop through from the pale original wash. Once I'd darkened the stem, I could see I needed to darken some of the flowers some more, so I did that next. But again, I used a stippling technique to create lots of little horizontal strokes with my brush so that little patches of the lighter wash from underneath showed through. Next, I added some extra dark detail to the bracts and did some further darkening to the darkest parts of the flowers. Working in layers like this means that you can keep adjusting your colour mix, and you can allow lots of colour variation in your mixes to build up and help create an iridescent result. With all that darkening done, it was now time to make some final adjustments to the lightest areas within the flowers. So I applied another layer of a very watery wash to get the contrast levels looking right, before using my smallest brush to again add some stippled markings to create that slightly sparkly textured look. A full video class of this bluebell is available now in my online school. If you've enjoyed this tip video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and do share this video with your friends via social media. And if you'd like to take one of my tried and tested video classes for free, pay a visit to annamasonart.com, where you'll find even more resources to help you pick up your brush and paint the way you've always wanted to. Remember, you won't improve your painting unless you make the time to paint, so be sure to schedule in some me time this week and paint something that you love. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another tip for creating watercolours with wow.